It's about guiding people. Only way you can make the world better is if you make the people better. It's about showing them the light of hope in themselves and their family. Everything in this universe is all about synchronicity.
Numbers are simple, people are complicated. New motivation from the king. Learn the foundation from the king. Nana Pushe. 1 plus 1 is 2 equals us. 3 plus 2 is 5. Guard your mind. Me plus you is mathematician. Learn from V1 numerator. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Me motivation from the king. Learn the foundation from the king. Nana Pushe. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numeration from the king. Learn the foundation from the king.
No, it's not about reading, it's about guiding. I don't do readings, I do consultation because you should know yourself. As good as the back of your hand, you should know yourself. I want everyone out there to be clear that this is to serve you like a GPS serves you. Remember, each of us has guaranteed ourselves success. Be that Magi family, be that magician, be that numerational motivated force. It's about guiding people. Only way you can make the world better is if you make the people better. It's about showing them the light of hope in themselves and their family. Everything in this universe is all about synchronicity.
Numbers are simple, people are complicated. New motivation from the king. Learn the foundation from the king. Nana Pushe. 1 plus 1 is 2 equals us. 3 plus 2 is 5. Guard your mind. Me plus you is mathematician. Learn from V1 numerator. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Me motivation from the king. Learn the foundation from the king. Nana Pushe. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numeration from the king. Learn the foundation from the king.
No, it's not about reading, it's about guiding. I don't do readings, I do consultation because you should know yourself. As good as the back of your hand, you should know yourself. I want everyone out there to be clear that this is to serve you like a GPS serves you. Remember, each of us has guaranteed ourselves success. Be that Magi family, be that magician, be that numerational motivated force. It's about guiding people. Only way you can make the world better is if you make the people better. It's about showing them the light of hope in themselves and their family. Everything in this universe is all about synchronicity.
Numbers are simple, people are complicated. New motivation from the king. Learn the foundation from the king. Nana Pushe. 1 plus 1 is 2 equals us. 3 plus 2 is 5. Guard your mind. Me plus you is mathematician. Learn from V1 numerator. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Me motivation from the king. Learn the foundation from the king. Nana Pushe. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numeration from the king. Learn the foundation from the king.
No, it's not about reading, it's about guiding. I don't do readings, I do consultation because you should know yourself. As good as the back of your hand, you should know yourself. I want everyone out there to be clear that this is to serve you like a GPS serves you. Remember, each of us has guaranteed ourselves success. Be that Magi family, be that magician, be that numerational motivated force. It's about guiding people. Only way you can make the world better is if you make the people better. It's about showing them the light of hope in themselves and their family. Everything in this universe is all about synchronicity.
Numbers are simple, people are complicated. No motivation from the king. Learn the foundation from the king. Nana push it. 1 + 1 is 2. Be precise. 3 + 2 is 5. Guard your mind. Me plus you is mathematician. Learn from V1 numeral vector. Numbers are simple. People are complicated. Me innovation from the king. Me foundation from the king. Nana push it. Numbers are simple. People are complicated. Numeral vision from the king. Me foundation from the king.
No, it's not about reading, it's about guiding. I don't do readings, I do consultation because you should know yourself. As good as the back of your hand, you should know yourself. I want everyone out there to be clear that this is to serve you like a GPS serves you. Remember, each of us has guaranteed ourselves success. Be that magi family, be that magician, be that numerovational motivated force. It's about guiding people. Only way you can make the world better is if you make the people better. It's about showing them the light of hope in themselves and their family. Everything in this universe is all about synchronicity.
Numbers are simple, people are complicated. No motivation from the king. Learn the foundation from the king. Nana push it. 1 + 1 is 2. Be precise. 3 + 2 is 5. Guard your mind. Me plus you is mathematician. Learn from V1 numeral vector. Numbers are simple. People are complicated. Me innovation from the king. Me foundation from the king. Nana push it. Numbers are simple. People are complicated. Numeral vision from the king. Me foundation from the king.
No, it's not about reading, it's about guiding. I don't do readings, I do consultation because you should know yourself. As good as the back of your hand, you should know yourself. I want everyone out there to be clear that this is to serve you like a GPS serves you. Remember, each of us has guaranteed ourselves success. Be that magi family, be that magician, be that numerovational motivated force.
Hey family, it's King Simon, the founder of Numerovation. Remember, if you want to book a session with me and get a Numerovation consultation, all you have to do is text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. And if you want any of my books, go to Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. That's King Simon the Numerovator. And your books are available on Amazon. Remember, I'm the El Numero Uno, the Numerovator himself. And if you want to book a session, all you have to do is text me. Make sure you get my books on Amazon. I love you. Peace.
Welcome, 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 family. Welcome to another mathematical universe. Welcome to the mathematical universe with your brother King Simon right here, the Numerovational Perspective. I am your hostess with the mostest, and we're broadcasting on multiple platforms. Just want to stress that we're broadcasting on Facebook. We're broadcasting on 2 of my YouTube channels, 2 of my Facebook channels, and Twitter, and also IG. So IG, hold on, baby, hold on, because we got a good subject for y'all today. Woo, Lord. And if y'all want to get the most of it, those that are on IG, if you want to get the most of it, guess what? You'll have to probably come to YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Oops. I think I need to delete that. I put too much stuff. Put too much up in the Instagram. So I need to delete that. Let me see. Oh, sorry. Got to delete that. All right. Now, the topics for today is based on your first name. And I said on this topic, it's called Don't Wait, Create, and Learning to Use Your First
active name expressed by Brother King Simon for YouTube and IG and also Facebook. So big up to everybody that's on Facebook and Twitter. And of course, a lot of people are coming off of the great Aquarius Maximus interview, who she legally changed her name, which is powerful. But and I asked in the comment section with Brother Rich last night, but he didn't get to that comment. I asked, if you change your name, does that mean that the energy of your old name changes? That's on your birth certificate. Now, from a numerical perspective, from a numerology perspective, from a numerovational perspective, no, you're just adding on because you've been known by the name that you've been born with in your during your life, on your birthday, from the time you was born and your mother and father decided to give you a name. That name travels with you for all of your life. And the energy connected to that name is also with you. Now, when you add names, you got to make sure that the new vibration of those names are supportive of your birthday and doesn't bring any challenges to you. Because remember, all numbers has a frequency and a vibration that can either go high or go low, or it can bring about complacency. That's why in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, I talk about 4 different paths from my perspective. 4 different paths from my perspective. Don't forgive the hood. Big up to Pharonics Corp, my man Pharonics, of course, in the building. So it's important that we all, as living mathematics, because all of us are living, breathing mathematics that can use these symbols as a guiding principle, as I've always said in all my books. This one included, definitely this one included, my last book here. Not my last, but not my least. I am writing 6 more. But it is important that you recognize that the first name, according to the consensus of older numerologists that has formulated and have studied for many years, the first name represents your active name. Your middle name, if you have a middle name, represents the bridge or helping you to bridge the gap. Your last name represents what you've inherited from your mother or your father, if you was adopted by another family, and so on and so forth, so you can keep the evenness of the family. That is what you inherited from the people that held on to that name. So even if you consider your last name a quote unquote, or all your names a quote unquote slave name, the numbers, which is the letters that are transposed into numbers, are not slaves. They're symbols that can guide you out of the slave mentality. So even if you have McGillicuddy, like Dr. Khalid used to say, or your name might be Hamburger with tomato and lettuce on the side, like Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad used to say. Each one of those letters in that name, Hamburger with lettuce and tomato inside, or McGillicuddy, or Brown. Well, Brown is a color, but we that's a whole different thing. My last name is Brown. But even the so-called Europeans got their name from, you find that most of them got their name from certain aspects of life. Like you might see Goldstein. Obviously, the gold is where they got it from. Silverstein. Obviously, it's silver. Platinumstein. You might see all those type of names, but they got it from acknowledging or connected to either the landmass that they're on, or connected to what they were doing, like Mr. Carpenter. Now, we know that a carpenter is someone that builds and know how to contract and build things, houses and all that kind of stuff. But if they took on the name Carpenter, that means that is more than likely what their family was doing in that dispensation of time.
Now, when you go into the African names like the Oba and the Kwame and the Nguzu and all that kind of those type of names, or even the Afro-Arabic names like Muhammad or Bilal, each one of them have a numerical frequency also. So it doesn't pigeonhole you in the name or that lineage of that name. But if you study the mathematics of the name, then the mathematics of the name is able to bring you forth of how to use that name so you can climb to a higher level of who you are. So I received the name Muhammad years ago, not only in the Nation of Islam in 95 after the Million Man March, but also in the Ansar Allah community. I was given the name Muhammad in the Ansar Allah community back on Bushwick back in 1985. My name was Shadi Abdil Muhammad. And I have an ID in that name and all of that stuff. The name Muhammad is, although people like to say that is a Arab slave name and all, but the Arabs, the so-called pale Arabs, got it from the ancient darker hue Arabian, which the word Araba is the travel, it's about movement. It's about movement. That's why a bus, a car is called in Arabic, it's with an Araba, or it means, I can remember, because I used to study all this. Utubisu is the bus, but it's all about movement. Because if you're an Arab, that means you're a migrant, you're a nomad. You move from area to area, which the original people have done. They've even moved into Europe for a certain amount of time and then spread throughout Asia and spread throughout all over the Mexico and all over in America and all these different places. So the original Arabs are melanated people before the European or the mixed mulatto Arabs corrupted it. Be very clear about that. So the topic for today is don't wait, create, and learning to use your first active name. So even if you call yourself Muhammad, the name Muhammad in both systems of the Pythagorean and the Chaldean, the name Muhammad, now those two systems or those two methods are older than the religion of Islam. Not the way of life of Islam, but the religion of Islam. If it started in 1500 years ago, Pythagoras and the Chaldeans were practicing numbers, and that number system have even gotten into the Arabs, into the so-called Arabs, but also came in through the Black Arabians, the original melanated Arabians, and also like Kabbalah came through the original Hebrews. Gematria came through the original Hebrews. They just named it. They changed the names over the years as what is coming through the downloads, because Europeans change everything. Europeans change everything to suit and benefit them. That's what you got to remember. Big up to people that's watching on Instagram also. If you're on Instagram and you want to come to YouTube, please come to YouTube. My YouTube channel is King Simon Presents Only Quality People and the Numerovation Nation. I might turn that to the Numerovation University, Numerovation University. I might change that, but I like the Numerovation Nation because I'm trying to create a nation of brothers and sisters that are willing to motivate people with their numbers. That's why I come out with classes for you to learn it for yourself. This class is only $55 energy exchange. That's only a $55 energy exchange, because the more you exchange and circulate energy, the more it comes back to you. So I circulated my time and did this 3-hour to 4-hour class. It is 4 hours. And it's a basic learn how to guide yourself by applying your numerovation. That is what I just bless this realm with. But also I do have an 8-hour course. 8 hours, raw, uncut, holistic numerovation course for $440 for circulation exchange. And you could pay in increments if you want to pay, 111 here, 111 there, 111 here, 111 there, complete again. Then you'll get the both links and it will be yours forever, forever, ever, forever, ever.
That's how it is with me. All right. So in every name, because of the vibration and the numbers that is connected to, and let me show y'all the two basic symbols systems that I'm doing. I can, let me see. I don't have to go to that. I can actually, I was going to turn on another camera, but I can actually go to one of my slides from an old slide, and boom, this was from the class. So let me go to one of the, that is it. So these are the two main systems I use, although I study multiple systems. I study gematria, but I don't apply it because I'm trying to keep things simple. I'm trying to keep things simple because when you get into gematria, you get the 100s, the 200s, the 300s, the 600s, 800s. You get into all those numbers equating to, still mean basically the same thing, but then it gets more, when zeros are added behind the numbers, it becomes extremities, more added value, more added things to it. That's why if you want to study gematria, I don't tell anybody not to study gematria or Kabbalah. I say you got to understand symbolism when you get into that. You got to understand the nuances and the difference between, but these are the two basic popular system, Pythagorean being the most popular out of the two. Pythagorean because of the Western Hemisphere and their connection to their greatest father of numbers, Pythagoras. Boom, that's what it is, from Greece all the way, because they are here to bring back their ancestors, just like we as melanated people need to bring back our ancestors. I hope y'all getting me, Instagram, y'all better be getting, whoop, whoop, that's right. So it's important to the numerovator like myself, your brother King Simon, to stress that every number connected to your name has a vibration. And when the active name is applied correctly, you will not wait, you will create what you want to do, because that active name, remember, like you've heard Lloyd Strayhorn and myself say, that the first name is the acting first name is the one that activates the rest of your names. And remember, your names reveal your gifts, your talents, and your skills if you're willing to put it to work. Because I can tell you, I can say, you can do a session with me, right? And I can say these are the potential gifts, talents, and skills that you have. But if you're not willing to put it to work, then it won't work. If you're lazy or you've been mind controlled by others from your family and all that, that means if you're mind controlled and your mind is locked into the program that your mother, your father, or the circumstances of your life has you in, then you won't grow out of it and you'll continue to stay locked in. So last night, I found this name very interesting because last night, Aquarius Maximus was on Brother Rich's show. Big up to Aquarius. She did a wonderful job with the I Ching. And Rich said something last night. He said, yo, this can be very addictive. People will be always tapping it. And she said, yeah. But then I looked up the numbers of the I Ching. When I spelled out the I and the CHING, in the Pythagorean system, it adds up to a number 9. And in the Chaldean system, it adds up to a number 5, or vice versa, one or the other. I don't want to do it on the board right now. But it added up to the 5 and the 9. And in numerology, if you look through my book or Lloyd's book, the number 5 and 9 are the numbers of addiction. On its negative addiction, but you got positive addiction also. So even if you go to the I Ching and go to her app, go to AquariusMaximus.com. If you go to our app, guess what? You can be addicted to it, because I was looking, I was like, and you could and just put in a question and answer yourself about, people can get addicted to the point that they will depend on it. And instead of going to their intuitive self. And I love what Brother Rich did, because Rich said he already innately knew what he was going to do with his child, with that dog. As soon as I put in the chat, I said, him and his wife is going to be taking care of that dog until his son becomes more responsible, because his son is still young. His son is not responsible enough to take care of the dog, carry the dog out, walk the dog, make sure the dog don't doo-doo in the house. He's only 5, 6 years of age. He's not doing that. They're going to do it, because I can tell by their numbers that was going to happen, because his wife is born under number 2, his son is born under number 2, and Brother Rich is born under 17. And we already know sometimes Brother Rich can jump off that line and go handle his son. Brother Rich can get aggravated by his child sometimes, because this is a new journey for him. And having children is that first child is usually that first journey. I'll tell you the truth. So when he said, and I knew, and when she broke it down through the I Ching that it's not time yet, she basically said it's not time for you to do that yet. It's not really, because it's going to be something, in paraphrasing, that it's going to be something that they're going to be taking care of instead of that individual that they bought the dog for. It'll be all love and cute and fun in the first part, but when it comes to taking that dog out, making sure the dog don't piss up on the couch and piss up on the this and piss up on the that and pee on this and pee, the little Sirius is not doing that. Sirius is serious. He ain't doing that. He got other things to do. Big up to Brother Rich and his son Sirius and his beautiful wife. So I'm glad Aquarius Maximus was able to break it down just like that through the I Ching, because the I Ching, the numerology, like she said, everything is mathematics. This is a mathematical universe. That's why I call this the mathematical universe, live from the mathematical universe, because all of those divination or divination systems are connected to mathematics, just like all of the physicist world, all of the algebraic world, anything is connected. Even when people say it's not connected to numbers, every letter is connected to a number. And when they found that out, that's when they was able to bring about the energy and the meaning and study the pattern cycles and the sequences of these numbers. Oh, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. But I want to make a point about this brother named Gary, because he asks, I'm paraphrasing the question, he asks Aquarius Maximus, should he leave his relationship or his wife? That was the question. Automatically, I went to the numbers, and that's his first name according to what I seen on the screen when I was supporting and being the moderator, the mod for Brother Rich's show. Gary, the name Gary already, talking about the active name, the first active name. The name Gary already, just because the G is a number 7 in the first part of the name, in the Pythagorean, and the 5 is in the Chaldean, the 5 in the ancient system of Chaldea is the number of freedom and the need to be free, to be themselves. So that first G in his name is the first active letter and vibration that denotes what Gary really wants in his life: freedom. I can't make this up. And 7 is something that says he holds things in his head, and he holds things in his head, and he probably holds things and holds situations to his head till now he's boiling over. So when I added the name Gary to 20, the name, the mathematical breakdown, let me get my pointer now. Stop playing. You know, I got my Ethiopian pointer. When I added the name Gary and broke down the numbers connected to the whole name, now each letter has a resonant frequency, so I just want to make sure y'all know. So 1 is also part of his name, the R, which is a number 9, and 7. So he got double 7s already been living in his head a lot. He lives in his head, very deep thinker. So when he asks that question, that's something that's been deep in his thought. That's something that has been deep in his thought. Should he leave his relationship? He's talking about leaving his wife or his or whoever he's with. It's already deep in his thought. That's already there. Just because of the double 7s existing in his name. Because when you have more than 1 or more 7s, or even the starting of a 7, it's the resonant energy that leads the whole name. And I'm talking from the Pythagorean system. Ooh, Batman. So that whole name adds up to 24, which is 6. So 6, as y'all heard me before, the number 24, the 2, the 4, and the 6 are all healing, health, balance, relationship number, the need to stay structured and disciplined and focused and balance number, family. So yeah, he's a good family man. Yes, he is. From the positive perspective, can be a very good family man. That person loved his family, especially his immediate family. But he had to probably heal or forgive something from his family also. Whatever happened his mom's side or his dad's side, he had to forgive, because that's a number of forgiveness also. The number 6 is a number of forgiveness. In the Chaldean system, his name adds up to a number 9. So going back to the Pythagorean, when I added the 9, the year 7, 2023, which is a 7, to the number 6, add up to 2029, that adds up to 13, which is a 4. 4 is a mental health number, and it is one of those numbers that because it adds up to a 13, it's a very powerful number. But if it's not used correctly in this year, his name, if it's not used correctly, it can wreak havoc and destruction. Not just destruction of your job, relationship, your personality. It can destroy a lot of things on the negative of the number 13, which is a 4. Which, if he consulted me, I would say he needs to have discipline and order and find some type of balance. That's when I, as the consultant, would not suggest he leave yet, but I would tell him to go to this culturally based coaching, counseling, consulting firm called the Akoma House Initiative, because you want to at least try to help the relationship grow, but they need counseling. I can tell just by the year that he's in, he needs counseling, because the 4 connected to the name is the name of what we call, the 4 is the beginning of his crossroads of his life. Because 4, 5, 6, and 7 is the crossroad, is one of the major crossroads in people's life. I didn't see his birthday, so I applied the numbers to his name, and then I found out the expression of it. Then I found out the soul urge of his name. I can find out the consonant, the outer representation of his name, because the name doesn't just give you the gifts, talents, skills, which the gift, talents, and skills of this name said he brings balance to the family. He don't like to argue, so whoever he's with might be a very big arguer. But it's not, but because 9 shows up in the Chaldean system, says he likes a good debate, but it doesn't have to go there. He has to always maintain balance and love. Because 9 is an argumentative number, but it doesn't always have to go to destruction and corruption and killing and hurting, because 9 can be on its negative, a very destructive number, but 9 on its highest level is a loving, high frequency number, just like the number 6, but 9 is just a little higher because it's the highest number on the single digit chart. When I went to the Chaldean system, the oldest of the system of numerology, the oldest from the Pythagorean, that Chaldean is the oldest and the most mystical. And I don't like to say mystical. It is just, it's a deeper symbolism. And once they studied the symbolism, then the mysteries was revealed through the Chaldean system that you see on the board, the top one. And Pythagorean has its revealing too, but the Chaldeans are a little bit deeper. That's why the 9 and the words and the letters are mixed up. They had a little bit, and I don't know how they did it. I don't know how our deeply melanated people did it, but it works over time and recognizing patterns, cycles, and sequences. Let me take that off again. So when I went to the Chaldean system, the leading number was 5. 5 is a freedom number. Anybody who's studied numerology in any capacity knows that's a freedom, versatile, adaptable number, where instead of him breaking out from his relationship, I'll tell him to adapt, do some deeper research because of the first letters. That's because I'm looking at both systems so I can get a bigger picture. Do a deeper research. More than likely, like I said, get counseling, because it's still added to a number 6, which is a high level of love. And if you're highly in love with somebody or in love with your family, you're not going to try to destroy it by him asking the question, should he leave his relationship? No, you try to find balance in the relationship. And because it adds up to the number 9, the 9 can be a negative of him wanting to complete or end something. But when I added the number 9, to 2023, it adds up to 2032, and that adds up to 7. 7 in numerology, when you're in that cycle of the number 7, if you read my book or you read Lloyd's book or certain other older numerologists, you'll find that 7 is not one of the best years for relationship. Really, it's a year of taking a sabbatical, taking a step back. So maybe he needs to take a step back, not get a divorce, but take a step back and analyze the situation. Go get the consultation. Go get the outside forces to help guide the internal force of that relationship. So as a numerovator, that's what I would tell him. I would not tell him to just destroy it. And mind you, she didn't do that, but she did refer and say that more than likely there's things going on in the relationship, because he even asked that question. And because because her I Ching app pay attention to the algorithms of what is said connected to that name. He did the AI or the algorithms did the same thing I did. But they remember, the algorithms of I Ching or through the AI is reaching for all of the multiple systems out there because it has computer access. But remember, she broke down the interpretation. She wrote it out herself, but it still grabs for all of the algorithms out there to come to its assessment of what Gary asked. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Because if I didn't have no computer, I can still do this. I can still write. You give me an underwater pen with underwater paper and put me underwater and shout out somebody's name and birthday. Guess what? King Simon can still do it. Everybody that depends on computers and all that is cute. This is a new age. I got it. But can you do it without it? That's what I like about. That's what I like about Ra'aku, because he goes to the board and he'll draw the circle, and then he'll do the dimensions, and then he'll do the different things with the numbers and its degrees. Similar to what I do, but I'm doing numerovation. You understand? Can I get a number 1 in the chat if y'all understand what I'm saying? Can I get a number 1 in the chat if y'all understand what I'm saying? I'd suggest both systems. I don't like when people ask me this. Do you suggest Pythagoras or not? I suggest both of them because you get a bigger picture. You get the picture. You get another larger picture. And then when you get a little bit deeper, you can go to Chinese. When you get a little bit deeper, you can go to Japan. You can get a little bit deeper, go to Arabia. If you get a little deeper, go to Kabbalah. You get a little deeper, go to Gematria. If that's what you want to do, I like to keep it simple, because when I keep it simple, I keep it moving. I keep things moving because I keep it simple. I keep it moving because I keep it simple. That's the benefit of being a numerovator, because I'm using the numerals to motivate you. That's all. So any numeral, wherever it comes from, I don't care if it comes from Ethiopia. I don't care if it comes from cuneiform, because Chaldeans was speaking the language of the cuneiform. So they had a language of mathematics in the cuneiform language. And then it translated throughout the years with the Phoenicians and the Kemetic and the Egyptian and all that. It translated out the years to the point that we are using similar Phoenician numbers. These are similar to the Phoenician numbers. I studied it. I got the books on the study and the chronology of numbers. I got books on that. I don't play with this. I can't, because you're dealing with people's lives that you're trying to guide. Utilize both of them or study all of them. I just utilize both. Utilize all. I got books on Gematria. I got books on Chinese numerology. I got books on Kali. I got Vedic astronumerology. I got all of it. And I'll look through it. I'll read it before I go to bed so I can take it in and digest it in my head overnight, and then see what I need for the person that I'm doing a session for. So the mind is going to draw from everything. because the mind is a transmitter and a receiver. So whatever you have studied over the year, whether you're reading, whether you're doing it through inspiration, whether you're doing it by revelation, whether you're doing it by evidence and facts, it will come to you even while you're talking to the person. Just comes because the brain is a transmitter and a receiver. So big up to that brother Gary. I hope he's got consultation, but at the end of the day, 6 and 9, that is name of it. If he's gone through all the gamuts, if he's done all that he has to do, because his name, and I'm only looking at his name is resonating with a number 4 in one aspect of the Pythagorean, but in a number 7 in the last aspect of the Pythagorean, in the Chaldean. 4 and 7, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are major crossroad years in anybody's cycle, even when it's connected to their name. I didn't see his birthday, so I couldn't talk about his birthday. But my spirit, my energetic spirit say, go to his name. And sure enough, what she gave the answer from in her perspective of the I Ching, I already had the answer. But then I would have to give him more direction because I see where his name Gary can lead to. Because of the number 6, he loves his family, without a doubt. Number 9, he will kill for his family because 9 is a killer. On the negative 9, will murder for their family because remember, the destruction vibration of the number 9 is war, military, guns. He will kill for his family. But the man needs a peace of mind. That's where the number 7 is. He needs a peace of mind or he'll go down the nervous breakdown. That's the lead of the number here. That's what's telling me. So he needs balance. He needs balance. And that's where the 6 is showing us. That Gary needs balance so he don't get off the deep end. And all of a sudden you start hearing about him in the goddamn news. And I'm not saying he's going to go down there, but everybody has a potential to go down the lower side or go up the higher side. I suggest he takes the higher road by getting the multiplicity of different counseling from different therapists. He can go to Alicia Watkins, Dr. Alicia Watkins. He can go to the place that I just promoted on here called the Acoma House. And both of them should go. And like I always say to people in my sessions, I always say this to relationships because I stopped doing relationship consultations because people I find aren't serious, especially the men. Because you remember sometimes they say, according to the science and their opinion and their theory, they say women mature faster than men, according to their opinion. Now, women use more, according to their science and their studies, women use more words than men, that's for sure. Women use more words than men do on a daily basis. Because they always thinking fast and they always talking a lot. A lot of them always talking and always thinking fast. However, the balance of this, the balance of Gary has to maintain balance. He has to maintain a universal balance and order of what he has to do. And in order for you to incorporate the balance, you have to look for other means that's going to help balance it out if your means inside that household is not working. And like I always say to couples, if one person is willing to work on a relationship and the other one is not, then it will not work. And in the crossroads of his name, these crossroads can determine whether he's going to go in the theme of leaving that person alone. Because he's in the crossroad, and crossroad only means cross the road and make a decision to have a peace of mind. Because 5 in numerology is a nervous breakdown number in the negative. It's a brilliant number. All numbers have its own brilliancy, but 5 deals with a nervous breakdown if he doesn't maintain his mind. And remember, in my book, the numbers 4, 8, 4, 7, 8, 5, and 3 are the mental health numbers that they have to bring balance. 5 and 3 being the lowest on the totem pole. I talk about it on my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability. That's why it's called Numerovation for Mental Stability, a numerovational guide to recognizing mental instability and staying motivated. That's the name of this book. This is a hardcover book. You ain't getting a hardcover book. These was exclusive. I only sold 50 of these books exclusively. So those who got the hardcover book, beautiful. If you order it on Amazon or through my Linktree, you're going to get the soft cover book. And the soft cover book is beautiful also. Soft cover is beautiful. Beautiful. So, Gary, I pray and hope that Gary listened to Aquarius Maximus last night and really find balance in what he's doing, because again, his name is vibrating with the 4 and 7. And if you do the combination of the Pythagorean and the Chaldean together, the 4 and the 7 equals 11. And 11 is the number of deception on the negative. It's the number of treachery on the negative. It's the number of spiritual destruction on the negative. But on the powerful, positive side of the number 11, that's the number of spiritual teacher, spiritual guide, listening to your spiritual insight, listening to the power of spiritual love within yourself, and bring some type of sensitivity and gentleness to the situation, because he shares the 2 frequency with this name in this year. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. You don't ever hear somebody like me explain. You don't hear nobody else, other numerologists explain. And I'm not saying I'm the only one. They do it from their perspective, but you don't see people go into it the way I go into it, because I am a numerovator. I want to motivate you to maximize it. I'm not here to read nobody. I keep on telling you, I'm not a reader. I'm not a reader. I'm a consultant and an advisor. I'm a consultant and an advisor. Thus, when you see me advertise on Brother Richard's show, or advertise on my show or any other show, it says Numerovation Consultation with King Simon, because I am a consultant of these numbers and how they work. Now, if what I said mean anything to any one of you, please, by all means, show some love through PayPal, Cash App. Show some love. It's really, because I do this out of my heart. But hey, like Panic used to say, it helps to keep the light on, niggas. Helps to keep the light on and the rent paid, and you know what I'm saying? It all helps. It's all energy. We're all sharing energy, and the more you share and I share, the more you get out of this energy to want to understand your name. Because again, don't wait, create. Your name is a creative, your first active name, like Gary, is a creative aspect of that person. So each letter represents a vibration connected to numbers. So in this name, you might see a lot of 7s here, but a lot of 1s here. So 1 is the creative aspect inside the name Gary, like Gary Coleman, like Gary, whoever, any other celebrity's named Gary, whatever y'all find. The number 1 is an initial. It's one of the primary numbers inside this that deals with exertion, that deals with creativity, that deals with trailblazing. But because 7 is here in the Pythagorean system, 7 says in his creating and his exertion and his trailblazing, he has to do the deep research. He has to dig deep. He can't take nothing on face value. And 7 is a law of attraction number. But if you're attracted by what you're doing with all these frequencies, are you able to keep what you attracted in your life? And I want to thank everybody that was giving super chats. I've seen super chats pop up. Thank y'all for super chat. I've seen Brian send a super chat. Thank you very much. I've seen it's Camelia or Camelia. She sent the super chat. Thank y'all very much. Each one of those names, the Brian and the Camellia, represents something. And just by looking at Camelia's name, you got the double L, and the double L represents 33. So you have in your active name, without me reading your full name, in your active name in the Pythagorean and in the Chaldean, you have the Christ anointed energy. Now, so no, don't get spooked out because you got the Christ anointed energy. The word Christ means anointed. So you, Camellia, just because you have the double L's and you're like Billy has the double L's, he's anointed and you're anointed to do something in your family with that active name because of the double L, the 33. And 33 is the master of not only healing and teaching, but it's the master number, according to the studies, it's the master number of teaching, it's the master number of imagination, it's the master number of creativity, and it's the master number of manifestation. That's why people was afraid of the Christ energy, because he was able to convert people because of his teachings, according to the scriptural theology. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. The name Brian. Oh, I can go into it. Let me show you. Brian, just because they're here and they sent me a super chat. The name Brian, I'm talking about the first active name. 22919. 92. That's 92. You always got to make sure it's writing exact, because that's if this is mathematics. 5, 4, 6, 7. 7 plus 5 is 12, which is a 3. Brian likes good music. The gift is he has the gift of gab, but he also has a gift of that. He also needs the gift. If he's willing to activate it, he also has the gift of writing, just by the Chaldean system. More likely in the early parts of his life, he was stifled. He stifled his throat chakra because of emotional parts of his life, because there was a lot of 2 represents a lot of early parts of his life going through emotional changes. More than likely, according to just that, he could have been a crybaby. If he asked his parents, he could have been a crybaby. He would cry for certain things, whether the bottle, for the breast, or whatever. But Brian, because of the double 2 energy, especially in the Pythagorean system, that's not a master number 22, because it's not a double R, but it's a 2 and a 2 in the first part of his life. That's ruled that deals with relationship sensitivity, that deals with also companionship, the need to connect with the feminine energy, which could have been his mom or whatever, connecting with grandmothers or something like that. I'm just showing you what I see just by looking at that first part of his name. Woo! It's on the board now. See, I'm showing it on the board. Let me take that off. Let me take the bottom part of this off. So in the Chaldean system, the name adds up to 11 plus 10 plus 5 equals 26. Eight in Brian's name, because it adds up to a 26, which is an 8, he has to be very careful of bad company. He has to be very careful of bad advice. He got to be very careful of bad unions, according to the compound number 26. Because Brian requires loyalty. If somebody is disloyal to him, it's a problem. But also, he has to be careful of being loyal. He has to also, if he wants people to be loyal to him, he has to be loyal to that person also. But the gift of that number 8 is money, finance, but it's also a karmic energy. So what you put out, you get back. And number 8 is one of the numbers of balance. But it's about balancing your checkbook, balancing your life, balancing the energy. It's an old soul in the energy. So he's more than likely he's an old soul, and he likes old school music and old school ways and all that kind of stuff. And the number 3 said he loves good music. When he gets on that dance floor, more than likely he could cut a rug, or he'll tap his feet to something that he really loves. But the 12 is the number of victimization. being the victim of other people's intrigues and not speaking up in a timely fashion. So you always got to speak up in a timely fashion, but speak up with balance, love, and because he has a lot of nines in the Pythagorean system and a lot of twos in the Chaldean system, those two numbers can be very challenging to each other because you got fire number 9 and you got the water number 2, so they can be very challenging. So you got to be very careful of becoming a walking contradiction. I'm talking to Brian. Camille, you got the master numbers. You need to tap into those master numbers. I'm not even going to read your full name, but you got to tap into your master numbers. You got to tap into your healing. You got to tap into your expression. You should be having a journal. You should be writing. You do well in graphic arts if you wanted to go down that road. Matter of fact, I had a girlfriend that was named Camille that was a graphic artist. Man. Yo, I'm making. Oh, Brian, this is you, Brian. Okay, I didn't know that was you. I'm making music right now. That's crazy, brother. No, it's not crazy. It's your numbers, Negro. It's not crazy. It's mathematics. It's numerology. It's numerovation. My man said he making numbers right now. That's you, Brian. You making numbers right now. I didn't know. I'm just looking at the numbers, sir. I did not know. Oh, I didn't even realize that was you. I just seen Brian. But I did not know. I'm just looking at your numbers. And you'll make money from the numbers, but you got to make sure you express yourself not just through music, but through writing. Just like Bob Marley. Bob Marley is born under that 6 energy. And his alignment number is at 8 because when you add 2 plus 6, he's born February 6th, that's an 8. He made money from what he loved to do because 8 is a money frequency, a currency number. So if you do a full, now Brian, if you do a full reading, there are no happenings. What are you saying? There are no happenings. But if you do a full consultation session with me, like I don't really like that word reading, if you do a full consultation session with me, you won't get much more out of it. I'll tell you right now. So you better text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. I do have a waiting list, a short waiting list. But if you definitely book now, you'll definitely get in this month because I'm about to head into December. I got a few more days before I head into December. So I have a few more slots left in November. So family, again, the topic today was, and we're about almost an hour in. I'm not going to stay here long. Oh, not Wesley Muhammad coming in. The topic today was don't wait, create, and learning to use your active name. Those 2 active names, Gary's active name, Brian's active name, these are all, every number has its own variant creative aspect, but each number in the name also represents a different yearly aspect. So let's say if this is Brian 2, and that represents the 2, that means 2 years of his life emotionally connected to the female in his life. After the 2 years, then you got 9 years of his life. That means 9 years of his life was developing, asserting himself, probably trying to connect with his father or connect more to the male side or the male energy of his life. Then another 9 years came in, and then the 1 year came in, and then the 5 year. You could go through at your whole name with that. Oh, it's deep how these different applications and methods of using the numbers. They have an infinite amount of methods to use it. And when you really want to get jiggy with it, you do multiplication. Then you do division. Then you could do algebra. Any way you want to multiply it from a physical or add, do the math, which math only means knowledge. It's only a word that really means knowledge. That's all math means. But if you really want to find a numerical value and you want to see the trajectory of it, like I taught in this course, I did not really teach it I didn't teach it in this 3-hour course, but I taught it in this 8-hour course about the trajectory and how to use multiplication to project or traject what you need to do in a long-term meaning, the long-term breakdown of it. Oh yeah, because you can use multiplication. The numerologists of today and yesteryears use addition because it's a simple way to get to where you gotta go. But if you want to find the trajectory of it, since multiplication is exaggerated addition, then you use multiplication to, and thanks to Dr. B. Dr. B is the one that allowed me to, that said something to me and allowed me to open up to going into multiplication, because I don't like multiplication. I was good at math at a young age, but I didn't like math. I just knew I had, so I still, because of multiplication, if I get into multiplication with people's birthdays or names, then I would use my computer, of course. I'd use the computer. I got no qualms. Although you see Brother Lloyd do it out of his head. Lloyd is a number 16. They are good at calculating things real quick. Although he wasn't good at being a mathematician, he's very good at the quick calculation because he studied this most of his life. Me, I took the easy way route. Although I was good at mathematics when I was younger, I didn't stay on it. The mathematics got destroyed by marijuana smoke and drinking liquor back in my younger day. I started smoking and drinking since I was like 12, 13, because my family was the importer of marijuana back in the day. Yeah, that's just what it was. And that started destroying my brain cells. And because remember, when you add fire, like Dr. Africa taught in his book, African Holistic Health, when you add a burning or a fire to any substance, it transmute the chemical properties of that marijuana. So if I'm smoking it with a Rizla or tobacco and all that bull crap, then it's creating another chemical in my system that's now destroying my brains. That's why I can admire what the Rastaman does when they smoke it through the chalice. They put the weed down, they put the water on the bottom, and they take in just the pure smoke. But still, you got to be very careful of the inhaling of the pure smoke in your system, because that can coat your system if you're not careful, especially if you put it in a chalice, because sometimes we used to put it in a chalice and we have liquor or Hennessy or rum in the bottom of the chalice. The smoke is touching the rum and then coming into the lungs. A lot of crazy stuff I did when it came to smoking weed. I used to smoke it morning, noon, and night. People don't understand. Women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie. You're absolutely right. And they only lie because of their willpower, leading them down to lying. That's all. Really, in our purest form, we are all honest. As a child, as a baby, you can only be honest because you was a baby. You was just doing this. That's why we love the purity of children before they get corrupted. That's why we love the purity of children before they get corrupted. I love hanging out with my grandchildren. They are so pure in their honesty. If your breath stink, they're going to tell you your breath stink. Simple. If that tastes nasty, they're going to tell you that tastes nasty. If it tastes good, they're going to tell you it tastes good, unless you wean them into loving a nasty taste. They're a sponge. Your children are sponges. And then when you guide them to understanding their name, then they become a sponge of the mathematics, because the mathematics only confirm what needs to be done for them to take themselves to the next level of their life. Man, real war on drugs seems to be the true cannabis and lab cannabis. Yeah, you know what it is. I had the pure marijuana when I was younger. I don't know what they smoking today. I had pure marijuana coming from fields of Jamaica back in the 80s and the early 90s. Well, I stopped really at 80. I stopped smoking at 80 before I became Muslim. When I became Muslim, it was all over. When I had that dream and went through that choking and all the weed came bursting out of my lungs, that's when I stopped. The next day, I stopped cold turkey. That's how deep that joint was for me. I wasn't doing that no more. I wasn't doing that. Yes, they are the most honest people on the earth at that age. And older people. Because older people nowadays, they don't give a F, so they're going to tell you the truth. That's why it says, once a man and twice a child. Once a man and twice a child. You had on diapers when you was a child, and sometimes some of us, as we get older, we end up in diapers as we get older. I'm trying not to end up in no goddamn diaper. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't want to be in no diaper, so I'm taking care of my prostate and doing my prostate exercises. A very good book on that, family. On another note, especially for you brothers, Qigong for Prostate Health and Sexual Vigor by Mantak Chia and William U. Wei. Very good book. I start practicing my exercises. I do the exercises in this book. Very good book. And what's the other one? I have another book too on that too. But as far as learning the exercises, very good book to have. Prostate Health and Sexual Vigor. For women, this is a good book, but this is also a good book for women and men. But this one is very good for women by Mantak Chia. Healing Love Through the Tao, Cultivating Female Sexual Energy to help exercise those inner parts of your womb to prevent certain fibroids and all that. But it also comes with an eating habit, dietary, all of that stuff. So yeah, I like to study. I like to research. And when I study and research, it adds for better consultation for people that might be going through sexual issues and all that. I remember consulting Dr. Melanie about ED. She said, King Simon, you don't have erectile dysfunction. It's your mind. You're holding on to things from your mind. And sure enough, when I cleared my mind, and when I start eating properly and get rid of the wheat, it's the wheat that I am addicted to wheat. I'll be honest with you right now. I just bought some wheat bread the other day because I grew up eating wheat and I try to get off of it. And I know I can get off of it. I'm playing games. I know I'm going to get off of it. But I'd be so honest. And Dr. Sabi used to talk against wheat, and I used to get spelt and that wheat bread, Lord have mercy. It's the devil. Tragic. Like my man Lukeman from the Everybody Hates Chris show. I love that show. It's tragic. But that addiction, whatever you're addicted to, overly using of, it can become your detriment over years. And when I did break down the word wheat, yeah, it added up to one of my challenge numbers. Yes, I know this. And sometimes I'll be off of the whole wheat game for at least a month or two, and then I eat something and it triggers that, and it brings me back to wheat again. I'm like, at least it ain't bring me back to pork and meat and all that kind of stuff, heavy meat. And I might eat fish. I got no doubt about that because I grew up doing a lot of that. As a matter of fact, I bought some whiting today. Wild Atlantic caught whiting. I ain't got no time to be lying. Got no time to be lying about what I do. As long as I'm not doing anything crazy and malicious, it's what I'm doing to myself. So I have to do my purges. I have to take my detox on a monthly basis because I know that I'm eating wheat and I'm eating that. Just like I've seen, with even the late Dr. Sabi or Dr. Africa, if they eat something that could be obstructive to their system, right away, they will take the cascada pill or take that herb to move it, keep it moving. And if you're eating meat, and those that have not transitioned out of meat, Dr. Africa always suggests, because Dr. Africa is about transitional. Then you get hardcore, probably with Dr. Sabi or KT or whoever. But Dr. Africa was about transitional because everybody's not going to stop eating meat. Everybody's not going to stop eating fish. Everybody's not going to stop eating soy. So in order for you to keep those things moving in your system, you got to eat a lot of water-soluble vegetables and things that moves it through. A lot of fruits that moves it through. You know what I'm saying? Keep it moving. Yeah, the Ezekiel sprouted bread. Yeah, I usually get that too. I usually get that. And I do have to start ordering that. I think after this, because I'm going into a health cycle next year, as I get into my critical cleansing cycle on this in December, before my 52-day birthday, now I'm alerting myself because I realize that I'm about to go into my critical cycle in December. And then I have to start doing the necessary cleaning and cleansing and monitoring of my health as that's what had kept me young and kept me healthy to this day. That's what kept me healthy and kept me young to this day, because I understand the cycles and the patterns that I'm going into. And that's what I try to relate to people when I do my sessions. When you ask me the questions, I draw that out, and then I'll let you know what you can possibly attract to yourself in the year to come if you don't maintain balance with yourself. So because I know that I'm going into a 11 personal year cycle that deals and connects with the number 2, because 1 + 1 = 2 next year. I'm born February 1st. 2 + 1 = 3. 2024 adds up to the number 8. 8 + 3 = 11. 1 + 1 = 2. I know I'm going into a health cycle of circulation and dietary. I have to pay attention to it. That's how numbers work to guide you. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. And people like one of my teachers and Jedners, Lloyd Strayhorn, is true to what he do. Mantak Chia, most of the great tantric masters or qigong masters have studied him. Even Wayne Chandler said he's a friend of Mantak Chia. He studied under Mantak Chia. That's why Wayne Chandler looks so good on Brother Rich's show. And him and I share the same vibration. It's just that he's born November 1st. I'm born February 1st. November is a number 2 when you add 1 + 1, which is a 2, and that number 1. So his alignment numbers are 3, just like my alignment numbers are 3. So people born on November 1st and February 1st have similar vibration. It's just that when you add 11 + 1, that equals 12. And when you add the 2 + 1, it equals 3. It's just that they have another level before they reach the number 3. I go directly to the 3 because of my alignment on my first pinnacle or my achievement number. So that's why I always recognize different segments of your numbers with your name and your birthday. So, all right, family, I've been up here for an hour. People are calling me. Who calling me? Uncle Rising Son called me. Did he call me? I did get. Yeah, you got to leave a mess. You got to text me, people. You can't just email me. I mean, you can't just call me. I don't answer my phone calls unless it's family. I do not answer phone calls unless it's family or close friends, and unless I'm expecting you to call me. I've done with that. And some of my former ex-girlfriend, why you turned off your phone? I'm not hiding nothing from you, sister. I got things. I don't like to be disturbed at night. People leave on their phones all day, all night to go and jump on it so they can look on it live. The social media is bugging people out. I'm not doing all of that. Because I was a part of the original social media, Club Life. I was a part of the original social media, Club Life, word to word, mouth to mouth, over the phone, talking to people. I was a part of the original social media before all of this. So I'm not going to bug myself out no more and upset my nerve, because right now I'm in a 5 wisdom cycle for 28 years since my 50th birthday. And that's in my book too. I talk about the different cycles, the power cycle, the development cycle, the power cycle, the reflection cycle, the wisdom cycle, and the reflection cycle. It's in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, which comes out of the Rosicrucian science of numerology. Somebody asked a question. CPAC, somebody said CPAC days. I can remember CPAC. George Crooks, my boy. I got to call him. I got to call George Crooks and check on him. His wife is I wanted to change my name to All About Wisdom. Should I wait? to my personal year 5 year, or do it in a personal 1. You could do it in any of those years. 1 means new beginning, 5 means drastic change. So you can do it in any one of those years. But depending on your birthday, which one is going to be, which one supports your birthday more is going to be what's going to be important. Which number, the 1 or the 5, if it supports your birthday, if 1 supports your birthday, then go ahead and do it. If 5 doesn't support your birthday, because drastic change means you could be in and out of it, because drastic change is what it is, drastic. And 5 is the number of drastic changes. So you could be drastically changing your name and then have to drastically change it back, when the number 1 is the number 1 of new beginnings, new this, new that, everything new, making new moves, changing your new name, all of that good stuff. Let me see. Okay, now, or it can be a number that's equivalent to your name, equivalent to your birthday. Like Aquarius Maximus just changed her name this year, and right before her birthday coming up, and she is in a 7-year cycle. When you add 11 plus 16 plus 2023, she's born November the 16th. When you add that all up, it adds up to 2050. So 2 plus 0 plus 5 plus 0 equals 7. So she's born on the 16th, which is a 7, and she changes her name in a 7 personal year cycle, which is one of her crossroads. But that 7 is connected to the day that she's born. So it's a good, positive move. Just showing you how the mathematics work. Aquarius Maximus just changed her name from her birth name to Aquarius Maximus. Boom. So I'm just showing you how it works. So you got to be very careful. If you do a session or a consultation with me, then I could pinpoint where you need to change it. Even if the month is equivalent, you might be in a personal month that you might want to change. But usually when you change your name legally, it goes through some stuff. They got to go through the process. You got to go to the court, all that kind of stuff. If you're changing your name legally, like Aquarius Maximus just did, illegally, if not illegally, when you just because you became Muslim or you became spiritual, you want to call yourself peace God to the universal Almighty. That ain't on your certificate, sir. And they're not going to acknowledge you that in court. They're going to look at you, Tyrone, please stand. That's how they're gonna look at your ass on paper, because of the straw man. Because of the straw man. You understand? Because of the straw man. That's what it is. All right. So on that note, I'm getting ready to head on out, family. I got things to do. Remember tonight, we got one of the living legends coming on our show. I got to call him a living legend, no matter how young he is. He's an old soul born under that master number 22. I said the Duke of Tears is going to be with myself and the one, the only Carrie Ann Ingrams tonight. Oh, silky, on YouTube only. On YouTube only. No, not on YouTube only. On YouTube at Carrie Ann Ingrams, on King Simon Presents, and on Facebook, also on our Facebook channels, Carrie Ann Ingrams at Facebook, and also King Simon and King Simon Productions on Facebook, and on King Simon Prod at Twitter, or what they call X now. I think it's called X. I think Twitter is called X now. So yeah, I'm broadcasting. We're going to be broadcasting on all those platforms. And remember, if you're in Brooklyn, New York, I might be coming to New York, but I might not. But you might run into a lot of other celebrities that's going to be there. Lloyd Strayhorn is going to be here. Unc Rising Sun, Kofunyas Ife is going to be here. And I think Dr. Shakira Moore might be heading out there too. She told me she might go to check out Blue Pill in Brooklyn, New York, at Nicholas Brooklyn. You'll meet also Nicholas Brooklyn herself, the one, the only Monique Nicholas. She'll be behind there taking the money as usual. That's what she does. She collects. I call her the collector. Big up to Monique. That's my girl, man. My girl from another world. Also, I'll be interviewing, starting my Tuesday events, starting my Tuesdays. called Numerovational Perspective. This Tuesday is going to be a special broadcast with my brother, Wesley Muhammad. We're going to be speaking about Bob Marley and Michael Jackson, analyzing the assassination of those two, because he has a new book called Regicide and dealing with that. And that book is supposed to come today. So I can't wait to delve into that book before he comes on and get some good bullet points to speak about on Tuesday, November the 14th, which happens to be Red Pill's birthday and Blue Pill's birthday. But I'm going to have November the 14th is going to be allotted to my brother, Dr. Wesley Muhammad. And if you're in Queens on November the 18th, we, brother Professor Anthony T. Browder and Dr. Mott will be at the Simultap 36th anniversary or annual luncheon, dancing, speaking, live band. Beautiful. It's a beautiful event. I've been there I've been to one of the events two times or three times before. And it's going to be in Queens. That's in Linden Boulevard, Jamaica Avenue, Queens. And so if you can make it, please make it. That's going to be early from 12 to 4 p.m. And then from 6 to 9, Wesley Muhammad is going to be coming in to Nicholas, Brooklyn with Kafunya Ife, with Lloyd Strayhorn and other people that's going to be there. And he's going to be speaking on, come, let us deal with them wisely. Let's deal wisely with them, understanding the assault on Black manhood and the Black youth in general, speaking about the pot plot. Bring your children. Young people are absolutely free between the ages of 0 to 17. I believe that's what Kafunya does at her events. Kafunya and Sister Monique, that's what they do at events. It's absolutely free. This event is absolutely free, definitely. This event is absolutely free. But this event, young people up to the age of 17 is absolutely free. We want them young people in there. If you're in Atlanta, Georgia, the Portals of Pan crossover celebration. Make sure you contact Sister Khadijah through PayPal. You got to leave an email in the notes or the comment section of PayPal or Cash App after you send your $100 donation for singles or $175 donation for couples. Tickets are prepaid or pre-sale only. No tickets will be sold at the door. Okay? So if you're going to be in Atlanta, more than likely, I'm hoping to be there. I'm supposed to be in Savannah with my family because my son is coming in, and just to be thankful for him making it back from tour out of Germany and that side of the world. My son is going to be in town. So more than likely, I'm going to try to make it back. If my other son is driving back earlier, then I will definitely come to the Crossing of Pan event to show my respect. Also, Ascended Masterclass. If you want to learn or apply numerovation the way I apply it from my perspective, but yet develop your own perspective, you can actually purchase this class for only $55 circulation. It's 3 hours. You get to, and it's your link once you pay via Cash App or PayPal, and make sure you put your email in the notes section or in the comment section of PayPal or Cash App, so I can send you the link right away. As soon as you pay, you get the link right away. As soon as you pay, as long as I'm able to send a link right away, I will send it right away. Don't worry about it. Just check your email within that hour after you send it. All right? Please support my co-host, Kerry Ann Ingrams. She's a certified energy healer and guide. Make sure you hit her up at kerryanningrams.com or linktree/Kerry Ann Ingrams. Support one of my babas, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Hit him up at his 800 number. You can do palm reading with him, a palm consultation. Palmist, he's an astronumerologist, and you can sign up through his website for his books and everything else and his newsletter. Relationships. Look, if you're suffering from relationship issues with your family and you really love that person, go ahead and go do a session with them. They're very reasonable. They also got monthly increments you can pay. Go check them out. Acoma House Initiative. Go hit them up and tell them that King Simon sent you. That's the website right there on the bottom. Acoma House Initiative. Nicholas Brooklyn and Nicholas Cultural. Hit them up for wholesale. You want to buy any of their wholesale products? 858-4400, 718-858-4400. Remember, if you want to advertise and sponsor commercial breaks or intermission, by all means, contact us by Kerry at Kerry Ann Ingrams and KSP Media at Gmail. Remember, advertisement, it doesn't cost, it pays. Get any of my books through Amazon, but you could also get my books through Linktree/King Simon the Numerator. You could take my class through Udemy, my 2-hour introductory holistic numeration class. It's not, I'll tell you the truth, it's not as deep as the recent class that I did and my 8-hour class, but it is good information. And I want to thank Jackie Levine for helping me to produce that. And you can go through my Linktree for that. If you want to take my 8-hour course, my Linktree, or you can text me that you want to take the 8-hour course and you want to pay in increments. And after you finish your last payment, whether you pay 2 payments, 3 payments, or 4 payments, then you will get the link, the complete link. Boom. If you want to book a session with me, text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022 if you want to book a session with your brother. All right. All right, let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Okay, make edible teas. Okay, that's good. Okay. Big up today, King Simon King. Have an upful day. Yes, you too. Thank y'all very much for tuning in. Thank you for the fire. F diabetes. That's right. I F diabetes a long time ago. I put diabetes in a chokehold and said, "Get out of here, Uncle. Get out of here. Get out of here." Fedez, if you want to book a session with me, Hassan, please do, because that last name Brown, what you've inherited, adds up to a number 9 in the Pythagorean and a number 22 in the Chaldean. Ooh, I just touched you. And you're born on October 22nd, like Shaggy and like Professor Small. So you're supposed to be doing some great things. You overthink too much. That's one thing I can see by that number. Overthinking. And you have so many ideas that come to you, Hassan. You just need to focus. And during my session, I will show you how to focus with your numbers, because there is a way to focus, Hassan. There is a way to be focused, because you get a lot of ideas, a lot of stuff come to your head. You just need to put them to work. Put them to work, but put them to work in a timely fashion. Yes, Big Eye. Well, go on, Big Eye. Designer and printer. If you remember, that's at Temptations. Yeah. If you're coming to Temptation, yeah. Big up CPAC and all those places. CPAC, Temptations. Yeah, CPAC, definitely. What's up, Big Eye? Big Eye. No big eyes and little U's. But big up to everybody that tuned in. I see a whole host of people that came through, man. Patrice says she needs consultation. Big up to you also. Okay, big up the Guru Gangster. Power to the Guru Gangster. Of course, Camille came through. All Truth came out there. 916 Motion came in. El Bruno came through. Truth Seeker Lou came through. James Belton came through. Thank you very much. Fitness Girl came through also. Big up to Cheryl Lee. She came through also. Royalty Queen came through. Anthony Boyce came through. Big up to y'all for coming through. And all the rest of y'all that didn't write it. Tyler came through. Yeah. You got the soft cover. Thank you. Carmen came through. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you very much for sharing that. Jay McClinton came through. Big up. That's right. Big up to y'all for coming through and showing your love. And who else came through? BMST came through the group from off of CPAC and all them places. And all you people that came through, thank y'all very much. Michael came through, of course. Man, thank y'all for coming through, man. Hermaine Therapy came through. Thank you very much, Hermaine Therapy, for coming through. Thank y'all for coming through. Yeah, thank y'all for coming through. Thank y'all for coming through the mathematical universe, the numerovational perspective. The next time, if y'all see this, that's when that's when I'm going to ask y'all. On Tuesdays is when I'm going to start the call-ins. Y'all could call in at that number on Tuesdays. So I'm going to start that on Tuesday, this Tuesday, I'm going to start it probably Tuesday early. And then I'm going to do, when y'all see the numbers shine up, that's when you share. That's when you can call in, and then we will talk live on the screen. But not right now, family. I'm getting ready to leave. Right now, you just seen this. I purposely removed the number from this, as you can see. And but when you start seeing, that means I can come on any day with that. You know what I'm saying? Any day with that. What did I just do? Did I remove that, or did it? Okay, let me just move this up. Pardon me. So when you see this, you can call in, but when you don't see the number, that means don't call me at all. And when you see this come up also, when it doesn't have Tuesday night on Tuesday, because Tuesday I will be doing it, because Tuesday is one of my power days. Everything I do is either relating to the cycles and patterns and sequences of numbers. I'm not fanatical with it, but when I'm going to make certain moves, like Wednesday, I do my programs on a Wednesday and a Sunday, because Sunday connects to the number 1, and I'm born on the 1st. Wednesday is the day I was born in 1967. I was born on a Wednesday. Tuesday is one of my power numbers, power days, according to my power numbers. So that's why I'm going to do it on a Tuesday. And if you notice, Lloyd does it his way also. He'll do it on a Monday and a Wednesday. Lloyd was born on a Wednesday, but the number 16, which equates to the number 7, is connected to Monday also. You see how we do things to make sure we get the best outcome and navigate better in this realm. It's all about navigation. And if you see me come up at 10 o'clock, 10 equals the number 1. So I'm born on the 1st, so I will relate to that. You'll notice that Lloyd does his podcast, or his video podcast, at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, because he's born on the 16th, which is a 7. You see what we're doing here? Aquarius Maximus changed her name in a number 7 personal year because she's born on the 16th, and her cardology and her I Ching suggests and connects to the number and the patterns, cycles, and sequences of each number. So we're not new to this. We're true to this. We're not new to this. We're true to this. Oh yeah, Arnis. I used to study Arnis stick fighting. So forgive me for my move. Cali, I've studied Cali stick fighting also. Since I was young, I used to study it under one of my teachers, a Filipino martial artist named Michael McNay. I'm going to try to get him on, because he's a serious security person right now. But him and I used to be in the Nation of Islam in Montreal, Canada. Then he went to Toronto. He married a nice, beautiful black sister. Big up to Michael McNay. Well-trained, not just in martial arts, but in weapons. And he's a proficient gun shooter too. Very proficient. That man, let me say something about him. He's born, I think, April the 18th or August the 18th. But that brother, Filipino brother, is such a down-to-earth, loving energy that I've known from when I used to live in Canada. And I got to say this about him. If you watch the video with me, with Dr. Khalid in Montreal, Canada, go on my YouTube channel, or just Google in YouTube Dr. Khalid Muhammad in Montreal. You'll see a Filipino fellow standing next to him in the Nation of Islam at that time with a bow tie. That brother and I had Dr. Khalid's back when the IMF or the IMS tried to come and take Dr. Khalid. We wouldn't allow him to touch that brother. We was ready to kill for Dr. Khalid and ready to die for Dr. Khalid at that moment, because they banned Dr. Khalid from Canada. And Dr. Khalid was still able to get into Canada. And when he had to come and talk to those IMF or IMS or whatever they are, they had 2 agents that they sent in. Dr. Khalid said, he asked for the seasoned veterans, the seasoned brothers. I was seasoned, and Brother Michael was a seasoned martial artist. We went out there to address those people with Dr. Khalid. Dr. Khalid had no fear. And after we spoke to them and we were definitive about our stance with Dr. Khalid already being here, Dr. Khalid walked right back into the auditorium at Concordia College in Montreal, Canada, and delivered his message on 2 days. They came one day, the first day, but Khalid wasn't going no goddamn where, not without a fight with us. And that's how it went down. May Dr. Khalid rest in eternal peace for even bringing out that Dr. Khalid brought out the advanced soldier in all of us. Minister Farrakhan brings out this deeper, advanced spiritual soldier in all of us. But Dr. Khalid, the warrior he was, brought out the advanced soldier that will war and kill for Minister Farrakhan and the nation and kill for him, because we was on post and we walk our posts in a perfect manner, being always on the alert. We take charge of our posts and all temple property in view, especially when ministers are up there, when ministers are before us. Khalid was that dude. Minister Farrakhan is that dude. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad will always be that dude. And Master Farad Muhammad is the one that taught all those dudes through the lessons that he received through the God energy that's within him and throughout all of us as men and women, the original man and woman on this earth. So note, I don't play at my events. I watch everything. I put certain people at point. If you see my sons at certain doors, I know why they're there. I know who's military trained. One of my sons is a former Marine. Another of my son is a boxer. Another one of my sons is a brawler. So I'll put him at the back door. Because he gonna brawl. He gonna brawl and he might whip out. I put my military son at the front door because I know he knows how to handle proper handling of the people, and he's a very loving soul. He's born under that number 6. So he knows how to deal with it, but also keep his military prowess of the Marine, simplify, hoorah. He knows how to keep it in check. My number 9 child, he's born under 18. He's a loving energy, so he knows he likes to help people, but yet he's a boxer. So I know if you came to my Ashwa Kwesi event last year, my sons were the security. My sons were the security, and my son and my daughter-in-law was held down the door, held down the money. But I know where to put them at because I've studied their numbers, seen how to strategically place them. And they will all come to me and say, before they make any moves, they will call me over to the door or call me to where they at and say, this person says this. What do you think, Dad? What do you think? And I come with my discernment and my mindset to calm it down, to say, hey, boom. That's how you train your son. How you think Minister Farrakhan trains his sons? I mean, they got a deeper training. Khalid trained his son Farrah Gray and his other children, unbeknownst to all of y'all out there. Farrah Gray, Dr. Farrah Gray, is well-trained, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Well-trained, Dr. Farrah Gray. Well-trained. Kalfani, well-trained. His daughters, Dr. Khalid has like 5 children. I made a mistake years ago and said 7, but it's 5 children. And I talked to Farrah Gray. Good brother. Love that brother forever, ever, ever. Me and him on the phone. I send him books. He sent me books. That's my brother. I've had him on my show. So on that note, family, I just wanted to share that, I do this with the most positive and productive intentions. Anybody that comes out and say anything crazy about me, be careful of the messenger because they don't know me. Anybody that comes out and say anything crazy about me, about, King Simon, he promoted this bullcrap, he promoted this person, and I'm a promoter. And anybody with good sense, if you know a person that will do the groundwork, you're going to try to utilize his talents of doing the groundwork. He promoted this in the community. Y'all wasn't there when I was promoting people like Rochelle Farrell. Y'all wasn't there when I was promoting for Jewish people and Italian people in different clubs. Y'all wasn't there when I was promoting people like Kiepotan and Luciano and Buju Banton. Y'all wasn't there. Y'all wasn't there when I promoted Little Kim at a big reggae concert. Y'all wasn't there. Y'all wasn't there, although Malik Yoba is doing his thing. Y'all wasn't there when I promoted Malik Yoba. Before we found out he was into whatever type of men or women he's into. Y'all wasn't there. So when humans know that they can get the best out of your talents, humans will use that talent. And yes, I've promoted Polite. I've promoted Seti. I've promoted Queen Afua. I've promoted Dr. Phil Valentine. I've promoted Dr. Ashwa Kwesi. I've promoted Dr. Ben. I've promoted UAM, Alton Maddox. I've promoted Sister Shahrazad Ali. I've promoted some big people throughout my life. I talk about it in the back of books. I promoted Dennis Brown, Burning Spear, Sister Carol, Beanie Man, Shaggy. I promoted Dr. Sabi, Dr. Africa, Dr. Melanie Stephen, Dr. Valentine, Dr. Delbert Blair. I've promoted people. And I got all the receipts. All of the receipts. Even the receipts for how much it costs to pay for the venue, pay for the chairs, pay for the sound, pay for the lighting if I had to. I have all those receipts. So when people say it was a money grab, or you're not supposed to make money on the knowledge, you're an asshole. Because you don't know how much it costs to rent a St. Francis College, or how much it costs to rent a Marcus Garvey Center, or how much it costs to rent CPAC at that time, or how much it costs to rent these different venues. You're an asshole. And any good promoter and any good producer is going to try to make their money back or at least break even. And the majority of my events, I either made my money back, broke even, as long as I was able to pay those people and pay for the venue so I can have a good name in these streets. It was all right for me, because sometimes I left without no money because I was able to pay everybody back. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know what I went through and what I've been through with all of the speakers. Nobody knows the back of the scene arguments and the back of the scene disagreements with either Polite, with Phil Valentine, or with Ashwa Kwesi. Nobody knows those behind the scene calls I had to make because of this or because of that, and how much this person wants and how much this person's going to charge and all this bull crap. Nobody knows, because I'm not one of those dudes that's jump on social media and say, yo, this nigga did this to me. Nobody knows the calls I made behind the scenes to get people's money back from some dealings that they had with Brother Polite. Nobody knows that. But Doggy Diamonds can tell you. Phil Valentine can tell you. People like my son Adam can tell you. Prince Imagine can tell you. I've called and made calls. Sonetta can tell you. Been on the line where Polite had to give back people's money. I've been on those phone lines. So nobody can't blame me for any scamming and none of that bull crap. And I also can attest that Brother Polite gave back certain monies. I know I'm going into a whole nother thing, but I'm letting you know that everybody don't know the behind scenes work. And certain things I probably won't never say because it's none of your goddamn business, like Dr. Khalid would say. It's none of your business. All I know is that I did my work and tried to do what I had to do from the back of the scenes, from my positive and production, my positive and productive intentions to heal a situation. I know what I did. I tried to get Ashra Kwesi and Ray Higgins back together behind the scenes. I try to help Queen Afua and Phil Valentine's hash it out behind the scenes, to the point that I did produce a lecture with both of them after 25 years of not talking. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. But on that note, family, if you want to book a session with me, thank you, Kimberly, for putting that up. But book a session. I'm ready to. Thank you for sharing. But just remember the name Kimberly. Study the island of Kimberly, and I want you to look this up, Kimberly. Not just the name, because Kim is the root word of the name Kimberly, but I want you to look up the name Kimberly as far as off of South Africa, and then reflect what that name is because of what it says. Look it up. Look up what the meaning of the name is. When you want the mathematics, then you come to me. But the meaning of that name, Kimberly, and why it is so important for Kimberly to go through what they go through is also connected to that island off of South Africa called Kimberly, and where they get certain substances and precious things from, and why Kimberly has to have a precious mindset and must maintain a precious luster. Google up where Kimberly is. It's an island off of South Africa called Kimberly, and they harvest certain precious materials there. Go Google that up, because now I'm sending you to go and study the importance of your own name. And once you get it, it will become yours on another different level. All right, family, have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Be safe, be structured, be focused, be healed up, be willing to heal from your past madness. And please like, subscribe, share, and remember, sharing is caring. You have been watching your brother King Simon, and the next song that's about to come, that I'm about to play, is a song that was produced, a jingle that was produced by my son. And there was one thing I wanted to share with everybody before I finish. This quote came from a book called The Heart of Numerology. And I believe, from my perspective, this is also this paragraph that he wrote in his book called The Heart of Numerology by Lynn Buse. He said, you can learn to embrace every single experience just as it has happened. And you will then come to appreciate that even the darkest steps were stepping stones on your path to awakening the knowledge of your true self. If you hide from the negatives of the past, you will repeat the negatives in the present. If you have learned from them, you no longer need to repeat them. It is at that point in your journey that you become much more effective, helping others along the way. It is up to you. It is up to you to choose to become a co-creator in the universe and contribute to the blessings and the abundance of life in this and in all worlds. Very powerful statement and paragraph that this guy that had, this brother, that is man, this European, he's a European, but this was powerful information pertaining to all your mathematics. Whether it's your name or your birthday, that is the path, because you're going to go through your ups and downs. You're going to go through your negatives. But if you persist and continue to go and repeat these negatives, you won't learn. But if you do learn from them and no longer repeat them, then you will grow. That's basically what he's trying to say. It's basically what he's trying to say. So please, if you get a chance, get the book called The Heart of Numerology. It's a big book. It's a thick book, but it's a good book by Lynn Buse. Very good information. Very good information. All right. So family, on that note, I want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of this journey. I want to thank everybody that contributed and gave a donation, whether it's Cash App or PayPal, whatever you did. Thank you very much. I want to thank you for listening to my rant at the end, because my rant came from positive, productive intentions and love about my promotional plight and my promotional world of what I've done, promoted since I was 12 years of age. I've been promoted since I was 12. And when you're good at something, you get paid for it. Let me say that again. The Joker said that in the Batman movie. If you're good at something, you get paid for it. You don't do it for free, because it's something that you are naturally good at. And because you are so good, people compensate you with energy, which could be monetary currency. I'm good at promoting. I'm good at numerovation. I'm good at being an MC. I'm good at singing. I'm good at a lot of things because I paid attention to my mathematics and I learned to apply my mathematics. And like the theme and the topic of this day's event was, don't wait, create. Learning to use your first active name. And I used my first active names. I've used every name and I'm still using it. I've used the name my mother gave me, Tyrone. My middle names, Anthony and Simon, I've used them all. Brown, I've used them. I've used them all. And I use them at different levels, different intervals, different moments, different times. Although I didn't like the name Tyrone and it resonated with one of my challenge numbers, the number 6, I still have to use it to bring balance and bring understanding, because usually it's the family that call me that. Nobody else called me that other than my family or somebody that's my closest friend that they used to call me that in school. But I use my middle names, Anthony and Simon, because those names resonate with my energy more than Tyrone did. But because Tyrone is a challenge number frequency, I have to challenge myself to overcome that challenge of that first active name, so I can be better off in and accomplishing the higher goals of that challenge, because challenges only challenges you to be your best or your worst. It just depends on how you handle the challenge. All right, family, on that note, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for watching King Simon Presents Only Quality People, the Quality People and the Numerovation Nation. We broadcasted on Facebook, we broadcasted on Twitter, we broadcasted on IG. And the song that I'm going to leave you off with is my son's song called Numerovation. And it's a jingle that he created for me and my business. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. People, I love you. Be respectful. Take care of your health. Peace. And be numerovatedly guided. Take care. It's about guiding people. Only way you can make the world better is if you make the people better. It's about showing them the light of hope in themselves and their family. Everything in this universe is all about simplicity.
Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numerovation from the king. Learn the foundation from the king. Nana push 1 + 1 is 2. Be precise. 3 + 2 is 5. Guard your mind. Me plus you is mathematician. Learn from V1 numerovator. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numerovation from the king. Learn the foundation from the king. Nana push numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numerovation from the king. Learn the foundation from the king.
No, it's not about reading, it's about guiding. I don't do readings, I do consultations, because you should know yourself. As good as the back of your hand, you should know yourself. I want everyone out there to be clear that this is to serve you like a GPS serves you. Remember, each of us has guaranteed ourselves success. Be that Magi family, be that magician, be that numero